How's everybody doing? Good. We'll start with a song. California was a sweet little girl. She had big dreams for the world. All she ever wanted was to be a star. She said, I'm moving to Hollywood, 'cause my life down here's no good. Packed everything she had in the back of her car. She got a job at a little cafe, looking for a place to stay. Found a nice warm bed and a one-night stand. But the fella had a family. Things wouldn't work out this way. And every time he would leave, he would tell her again, hey, California, kiss me goodbye. Well, I tried to warn you, I'm not the right guy, so just kiss me goodbye. California had pretty eyes, double takes from all the guys. She knew just how to get her way, and it was one right after the other, a father, a son, a brother. No matter who it was, he had to pay. Except the fella from the cafe, she always let him stay. She loved his cologne and the touch of his hand. But he still had a family, and things wouldn't work out this way. And every time he would leave, he would tell her again and again and again, hey, California, kiss me goodbye. Oh, I tried to warn you, I'm not the right guy. Just kiss me goodbye. She said she loved him, and she started to cry. And she said if she couldn't have him, she would rather die. Hey, California, kiss me goodbye. I tried to warn you, I'm not the right guy, so just kiss me goodbye. Just kiss me goodbye. Thank you. Thank you. When I wrote that song, put together the lyrics and the melody, I had established a copyright, and this is my copyright. Mine, my very own, to have and to hold, to love and to honor, till death plus 70 years do us part. And by performing this song publicly, I have published. So today, we have first published this song, and now it's in the world. But it comes with a bit of trepidation because I know she's gonna cheat on me. You see, when you publish a song, you unleash a host of irrevocable and irreversible consequences over which a songwriter has no control. And what I want to do is explain a bit about these consequences and how the copyright law is broken for songwriters. See, by publishing this song, I've given you all here and everyone outside of this room the right to cover the song, to use a compulsory license and make your own version of the song. And with that, you have some good and you have some bad. Well, for example, Bob Dylan, one of the greatest songwriters in the world, has contributed amazing works to the American Songbook, wrote, recorded, and released a song called All Along the Watchtower. Not long after, Jimi Hendrix recorded and released a version of All Along the Watchtower. And now we have this beautiful copyright and this great performance, and that's where, a compulsory license works. This is where the copyright law works in sometimes. But if you were to go onto YouTube and type in All Along the Watchtower, you'd see how Bob Dylan's copyright is used over and over and over again in ways that I would consider a violation of copyright. So, because of this compulsory license, Bob Dylan didn't have the opportunity or the right to dictate whether or not Jimi Hendrix could record the song or any of the millions of covers that are online or on the radio. And it may not seem that bad, but let me try to paint the picture in a different way with this hypothetical. Back in the 60s, when the Beatles recorded the White Album, they also recorded a song called Helter Skelter. And there was one particular psychopathic murderer who felt that the White Album was the Beatles' message of impending race wars that would decimate the white race, and that Helter Skelter was the war cry. And this particular psychopath was Charles Manson. He, hypothetically, if he had recorded a version of this song, the Beatles would have no recourse to stop it. They wouldn't be able to block that. Now imagine, you write a song, and Charles Manson records it, and you can't do anything about it. That's what I feel is the broken part of the copyright law. It doesn't offer songwriters the control to dictate how, when, and who gets to use their intellectual property. Now I'm not saying that it's all broken. I mean, there are some things that work. Charles Manson, hypothetically, would have had to pay the Beatles, Paul McCartney and John Lennon, a royalty for every song sold, whether it was a CD or vinyl or a download. But today, that royalty is what we call a mechanical royalty, is 9.1 cents. 100 years later, or 100 years before, it was 2 cents. So over the years, it's grown incrementally, but only at a rate of 1/5 of inflation. Adjusting for inflation, that 9.1 cents would be somewhere around 50 cents today. And that would be what Charles Manson hypothetically would have to pay to the Beatles. But what happens in an era where technology is moving in and we're consuming music in a different way? What happens in a streaming world to this royalty? I'll get to that a bit later. So for the broken parts of the copyright that need to be fixed, there's a balance. There are some parts of the copyright that work, like a derivative work, for example. Derivative work is where someone who wants to use a portion of a copyright, a song, and modify the lyric or the melody in a specific way. For example, I recorded a song called The Man, which borrows from Elton John and Bernie Taupin's Your Song. And in borrowing and manipulating and modifying their lyric and melody, I had to ask permission to the copyright holder for this right. And I also had to negotiate a shared split of the new derivative work, so that whenever we exploit this work, a portion of the performance royalty and a portion of the mechanical royalty will go to the copyright owner. But recently, the derivative work has been challenged in a really crazy way. You may have seen in the news this battle between the Marvin Gaye estate and Pharrell Williams and Robin Thicke, with the controversy around alleged copyright infringement of Blurred Lines infringing on Got to Give It Up. Now, if you look at the sheet music and you listen to the audio and you look for similarities in lyric and melody, you'll find none. There's no lyric that was lifted, no melody that was interpolated. However, the judge decided that, erroneously in my opinion, that the copyright was infringed. And we don't know what the implications of a decision like this will be, but myself, along with hundreds of other songwriters, hope that it's overturned. Now, we've seen a lot of damage that is happening to songwriters because of a broken copyright law. its relationship to technology makes it even more broken, because as we move into a system of streaming and subscription services, we are quickly moving away from the days where a download would yield a songwriter the 9.1 cent mechanical royalty, and now we're having to stand behind streaming royalties, which are infinitesimal. When I released a statement about the royalties that I made from a song that I wrote for Avicii called Wake Me Up, I was directing my discussion at this broken part of the law. Because for 150 million streams, roughly, of this song on one of the biggest digital internet platforms, radio platforms, the song only yielded roughly $12,000. Over 150 million streams yielded only a roughly $12,000. If we were to break that down, that's 0.00007 cents per stream. That's much different from 9.1 cents for each purchase. And as we go along, we find that these broken parts of the law are not being reciprocated properly by the technology as it develops. So the law needs to be changed. Now, if the law does change, there are some beautiful things that can happen. Technology can be a savior for us. If the law gives us the chance as songwriters to dictate how our copyright is used in the way that a technologist would exploit their patent and have complete control over who is able to license their patent, then perhaps we'd be able to negotiate a fair market value for what we believe our songs are worth. Imagine technology giving us the opportunity to create a virtual marketplace where, for the song that I just sang you, which has just been released to the world for the first time, I'd be able to dictate when anyone else is able to cover it, and who can cover it, and how it gets covered, and at what rate. And imagine that technology can give us the opportunity to be as restrictive and as open as we want with our copyright. In the pharmaceutical industry, big pharmaceutical companies get a period of exclusivity before other companies can use their formulas. I think we deserve the same as songwriters. So I know we've seen the worst of the copyright law, and hopefully we've seen the worst of how technology encroaches on the copyright law. But I'm optimistic, and I believe, there are better days ahead and the best is yet to come. And that happens to be the title of the next song I'll sing you. Right now is the oldest that I've ever been. At the very same time, it's the youngest I'll ever be again. I thought I'd be rich by now with a porch and a picket fence. Well, life works in mysterious ways, sometimes it don't make sense. Maybe it's not supposed to. You learn to walk in your own shoes. Stand tall and don't be afraid to fall, 'cause the best is yet to come. When all is said and done, you can't slow life's pendulum. The best is yet to come, and I'll find my way. I'll find my way. I never won anything until I chose to win. Till I promised myself that I wasn't gonna never lose again. Even when you're down by a mile, it ain't over until the end. Every moment counts, you gotta learn how to make time your friend. Don't rush perfection, just find direction. Be strong and keep on keeping on. 'cause the best is yet to come. When all is said and done, you can't slow life's pendulum. The best is yet to come. Now all my life I'm told what not to do, and I don't know who made these broken rules, but all I know is what's right for me, so I'll decide for me. And what I see is the best is yet to come. When all is said and done, you can't slow life's pendulum. The best is yet to come. And I'll find my way. I'll find my way. I'll find my way.